Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. Last week something new and exciting showed up to the farm, so stay tuned and you'll find out. And here we are. We got a new to us Case IH 2150 corn planter, which is that planter. It can do more than just corn. 12 row. We traded in our 1200 planter that we had for 6 seasons, and we've been wanting to make this kind of upgrade for a while now. That was just an introduction for us to get into a 12 row planter. It's been on the farm now for 5 days. Thank you to Ritchie Implement for trucking it down here a few hours, and the salesman for coming out and helping us, specifically Dad, get everything set up and most of it ready to go. Got the airbags. Is a big upgrade for air downforce, and that'll help better seed placement. And look at how clean this row unit is. Here's our depth settings. So nice little T handle here. I think the salesman told me each one of these on each side is a 1/4 inch. So I think there's 16 settings to choose from here. Bulk seed is a huge one. We can fit 40 bushels, so approximately 40 bags on each side, or a pro box. For now, we're not going to do any pro boxes of corn, but in a little bit I'll walk to the back here and show you what we can do with our pallets of seed. And a lot shorter from cab to tail than our 1200 was. And another thing that we've got going for us is we have in-furrow fertilizer instead of the 2x2 system that we had that dribbled behind here and here. Pick up an old grease can, but yeah, I'm excited to see this thing out in action. A lot of people did plant corn last week, a week and a half ago, but it's been raining now for the last few days. Today and yesterday were pretty nice, but up to 70 degrees today. But it'll probably be at least a week yet before we're out planting. And we don't normally park the drill in here, but there's a more convenient place to park now that we've got more equipment over at the rented farm. So easier to hook up when I go to plant beans with the 7220, which this planter could plant beans for us. It did for the last guy that owned it, but for weed control and making a canopy, we like the 7.5 inch beans, and we can be working on both at the same time, and that'll be my rig. But with this planter, to set a pallet up here, we just need to get either a skid loader or tractor with pallet forks, and these pins for this railing, it drops down or it swings open, I think. So you could set your pallet up on there and set your bags of seed on there and be good to go. And another thing that I'm excited about with this planter is we don't have these massive beefy mainframe tires under the mainframe, and when you lift the planter up in the air, these are not just the only tires that are going on the ground. I'm guessing on our end rows, our old planter probably made quite a bit of compaction when we were turning. So I'm not a planter expert. This won't be my machine, but you guys will I'll try and get a close-up for you guys of what that'll look like when we get it out in the field. So hopefully in the next 10 days we can get started on corn. Forecast should start to dry up at the end of next week. And as it has been for the last 4 years, the planter will be pulled by our Puma 185. So this rig will look pretty good together in the field, and as of now, unless we get that far ahead on tillage, I'll be planting beans with the 7220. So the MX150 will go on manure duty for a few weeks while the 7220 is working on planting, and MX150 might just stay on it all summer as long as we aren't too muddy and need the front wheel assist. And I'm actually down in the tie stall barn now. Tomorrow will mark 3 weeks since we moved, and I haven't actually seen some of these kittens here since we moved. They've been hiding every time I've come. But they've grown pretty good and are healthy, but this is something pretty neat that we've got going on, that this barn will be pretty nice for as an in-between before they go out to the huts, which I'm guessing calves might soon. But we made calf pens in our tie stalls right now. So I know that this youngest one is a cam out of a second lactation Daredevil. This is a Trickster out of, can't remember if it's a Derringer or a heifer out of our own herd bull. One of them had a bull, one of them had a heifer on that same day. Got a World Class, and then a Trickster out of a Pactoli, I believe. I'm trying to remember who this World Class is. But we bought some more wire gates and we set them up, and Dad's got the zip ties here. We don't know if they'll try and go for any water or not, but we will have to clean these out by hand, but we've got the gutter right here, so we don't have to shovel it very far. And we've got the exhaust fan up here, and when it gets warmer out, kick on the fans and they'll blow across top of them too. So these pens are bigger than I thought they would be. This looks really nice. This is the first time I've been over here. I think Dad set this up a few days ago. Really neat. If we wanted to do the whole barn this way, we could shove 70 cows or calves in here, but I don't foresee us ever having that many calves at one time. I think that many individual shovel out calf pens would be too many. And those were all born at the rented farm. But last week, since it was Good Friday, the sales barn was not open. So here's a monster bull calf that I'm gonna be taking on Friday. But we've also got 4 other calves I think that should be able to go. We got 2 Angus calves in here and another brown Swiss calf. I thought there were 4, maybe or 5. Maybe there's only 4. But the last few days we were milking here. We had an Amir calf born out of a 3rd lactation banquet, and we've got World Class out of a winning formula into World Class out of a 4th lactation Carter. And this is, she was born at the beginning of March, a world class out of an excellent kickstart. So, oh, there's the other bull calf. He's in the corner here. And then we've got three calves ready to wean. Looks like one must have jumped its pen, and Dad's solution must have just been to throw it in with the wean calves and just wean her early, which works. So a little bit smaller one must have found her way in here on her own. But soon we'll start moving heifers down here and I'll start cleaning out that heifer barn and sliding groups over, and then we can take more calves out and send them up there instead of having wean calves down there. A little better ventilation up there once it gets warm. Well, we've got next day now. I'm up in the upper freestall barn and just about to go walk through the cows here about an hour and a half before milking. And I know I for sure have one cow to breed tonight. I just gotta check and make sure that there were two other ones that were suspicious this morning, but I didn't see them standing in the heat, so I don't know if those will probably have to wait until tomorrow morning for me to breed, but I'll have to ask someone else that's maybe swung through here in the middle of the day if they saw any activity, and I can breed those tonight if they saw that too. It is raining on a Thursday afternoon, but cows are staying dry and comfortable in here. You see this girl here has got sand on her front legs, so she's been enjoying the freestall. She's been enjoying the freestall. She's been enjoying the freestall. For the most part, I'd say less than 10 cows now to really figure out how to lay in the stalls, which is a bit disappointing, but I think we're making good progress here as far as what we are doing with alley layers. But I've got to breed this white face cow, but I'm not going to chase her up now. I'll set the headlocks after we chase cows down into the parlor, and so far she's usually been the first couple lines, so she'll get milked pretty quick, and I can get her bred in a couple hours. And I'm up here. I just cleaned out 2 water troughs, but this little area here, I can't believe how much sand ends up in the water trough. That was really tough to push out, even with this on a slope toward the drain. They must have enough sand on their chins when they get up from laying in the stall that when they stick their noses in, they deposit some sand in there. And also a lot of soybean meal fines and roasted beans. So that's what was in the water tanks, but now they're very clean and cows are checking out the clean water. It's Friday morning. I've got 2 cull cows loaded up, and I'm actually heading home with 2 cull cows on the trailer, and then gonna load up the 5 bull calves, but Dad's gotten his planter out. And I should just be able to drive right into the barnyard and back right up, and it'll be interesting that these cows get to take another look at this place again, considering that it's now been 3 weeks since we've been here. I think we're 44 milkings in, and we're going strong. But these two, one had a tough calving and just isn't going to recover with a high cell count, and another one's been borderline cull cow for a few months now, and we had a few other ones we had to get rid of before we did the move, so she couldn't go before then. But she's figured out the parlor well. But yeah, just gonna back up to the calf barn and load up the bull calves. And this is the most trailers I think I've ever seen down here, but this is also the latest I've ever showed up at 8:40. But I get to cut the line because I have big cattle, so I get to go down to that chute, so I don't have to wait for the calf chute, even though I can unload my calves at the big spot. But big cattle gets me to cut the line. And I'm on my way home now. The rain might be dying down, but we're gonna have some visitors from New Generation Genetics and Switzerland, I believe, stopping at the farm here shortly. But our new seeding, I think we've gotten probably at least 4 inches of rain since this stuff was seeded down, and I don't see any signs of any gully washing or erosion, so that means it's soaking in nicely, which is good. So hopefully with Monday 80-degree weather, I doubt we'd see anything popping out of the ground yet, but maybe the guys that have corn that got that in early has seen a few warm days, but there's also been some cold rains too. But pretty soon people will have stuff coming out of the ground, which is exciting, and hopefully we get a window here in a week where we can get out to the field too. Maybe we'll be planting in April, but I doubt it for now.